Hi, I'm Peggy Miller. I'm a medical herbalist with Highland Winds LLC, and I'm a certified practitioner and have been practicing for many years. If you want to know a little bit more about me or about this podcast series, go to the intro. And there's also an overview, which is an 8-part, a good basic instruction as to what terms like yin and yang, the tridosha, why medical herbs, why Chinese and Ayurvedic herbalism, what is the type of herbs used in them, that sort of thing. And so take your time when you can't have it to listen to that. But this is Maintenance 5, and it is for 30 and 40-year-olds. Basically, this one is for what type of herbs would be good for you in your 30s and 40s to be using on a regular basis and why. This is for people who are generally healthy. In the first 1 and 2 of maintenance, I describe some of the symptoms that if you have those, then you should basically get a full consult because you've got a very set, more chronic situation that you need to address with a much more specific set of herbs for that purpose. But generally, for those that are overall not having a chronic situation, there still is a real good regimen of maintenance that will help you in your 30s and 40s and lead you into a much healthier 50s on up. And some of these I will try to talk about in this 15-minute segment. They're all roughly 15 minutes long. And I'm doing it with some help from MCAT, and I'll be working to put them on YouTube as well. So, and other places, obviously. But for 30s and 40s, basically at this age, you're beginning to move very solidly into your career, hopefully, whatever that career is. And by career, I don't mean just totally professionals that are white collar, that are, out there in the mainstream of that professional world. Whatever your career is, whether it's a stay-at-home mom or dad, operating a small business, working store clerk, you're great in the retail sector. Whatever your career is, it becomes a little clear at this time. Doesn't mean you can't go back to school, and a number of you at this point are actually facing that, the need to retool, change. You liked what you were doing, but you want to change. All of those kind of decisions start to really happen in the 30s and 40s. And they have their own types of stressors. Many of you are now parents, and so you're facing parental stress as well as work stress. And this combination can be really tough. It exacerbates the real need for keeping your blood nourished. Blood nutrients are very important. They're important at all the ages, but in this stage of the parenting plus working, it really is a combination that needs very strong attention to blood nourishment. It also is the stage where if you've had not a great diet or partied a lot in your younger years, in your teens or 20s, then that has accumulated. And if you didn't follow this in your 20s, then, and you're just getting into the use of herbs now, you really need to do a liver cleanse because the pollutants have clogged the liver and you'll be experiencing a lot more problems. Women start to build fibroids a lot at this stage because of blood stagnation. They also are continuing to have menstrual issues and facing the need to deal with approaching menopause. Men have a lot of hormonal imbalances, the stressors of being a dad, plus taking care of family, plus the work professional demands. Whatever your work is, And I seriously mean that. If you have chosen a retail career and you are by this time managing the store clerks or whatever your career path is, if you're on Wall Street, the stressors are more similar than you would think. Stress just accumulates. And so you need to pay attention to blood nourishment. You need to clear your liver. And at this stage, if you haven't been doing this, dandelion and lemon water help, but you also definitely need to do a 1 week bupleurum and peony, and make sure you include oyster shell with that. If you don't do a full-fledged bupleurum and peony, because that often needs a little bit of oversight from a medical herbalist, because if you have a lot of stagnation at this point, then you might want that oversight in terms of clearing your liver blood and liver qi. But there are lighter with just a gentle touch of bupleurum that can help a great deal. So look for those kinds of blends. You can also email me, and I've got blends that help the spleen and help clear the liver. The spleen has taken a beating by this time because stress and worry really impacts the spleen, and the spleen's job is to break up blood and to break up food and to transport its nutrients to the blood. And if it's not doing a good job of this, then you'll have accumulating mucus. And I haven't talked a lot about mucus because here again, I'm talking maintenance, but periodically attending to the spleen will help keep you from getting a lot of lung and mucus problems. And mucus can create its own emotional impacts, just like liver qi and liver blood stagnation finally leads to not only things like fibroids or worse cramps or blood clots in your menstrual cycle or hormonal imbalances even for guys. It can also lead to emotional issues like anger, frustration in the workplace, frustration at home. And if you clear the liver qi and liver blood stagnation, you will literally feel better. You won't feel on edge as much. You'll be much more relaxed. It can help deal with insomnia and anxiety. So clearing the liver qi, look for some kind of mix, a light blend, a 3-day blend that you could take, which would have a touch of bupleurum, have some codonopsis in it or astragalus, and also take a look at adding turmeric and barberry much more often to your foods, because that will help as well in clearing the liver and the gallbladder. In addition, you need to attend. Your yin will start to be depleted from the stress at this stage for sure. Goji berries are a must. They help build both blood and yin, and they help keep the blood sugar in check, and these are very important. If you're athletic, then your blood is being depleted for sure, and Dangi 4 is another one to constantly use, once a month for 3 or 4 days as tea, or you can find them as pills. These are all good blood nourishing herbs or formulas, as well as tonifiers for the yin, because at this age of 30s and 40s, your yin needs to be attended to, because it's what creates the moisture for your skin. It creates moisture for your organs and your kidneys. And if yin becomes overly depleted, you will start at this age to notice yin deficiency symptoms, which are like night sweats, feeling really hot feet, feeling a sort of heat in your chest and cheeks in that late afternoon. These are all signs of yin deficiency, and it's common in 30 and 40-year-olds. So you need to make sure that you're protecting yin. Goji berries do this. You can find them at Walmart or in health food stores. I also sell all these things, but you can find them, and I'm Highland Winds LLC, but you can find them in a variety of places. They really help. Schizandra, Schizandra, is another one. Helps both yin, including lung yin, which is very important. Marshmallow is another. It is an anti-inflammatory that helps to moisten the internal system. At this age of 30 and 40s, you definitely need to start to include marshmallow in your system. The other thing you need to protect at this age is your joints. Most of you have done some kind of activity, whether it's walking, hiking, biking, yoga. Luckily, these are all Tai Chi. These are all activities that are becoming commonplace, and it's excellent. But the joints start to take more of a beating at this age as well. You need to keep your joints clear, and you need to take anti-inflammatories. Oat straw is a wonderful anti-inflammatory. So is dandelion, and dandelion helps the liver. So those are both really good anti-inflammatories that help the joints. Clematis chinensis, as well as another mugua, which is a Chinese quince, they both help keep the joints clear. Taking them once a month for, tossing some into a tea is plenty, and it can really help keep your joints maintained. So these are all very good combination of joint maintenance, keeping your liver clear, maintaining your spleen. The spleen likes to be dry. And so a combination of codonopsis, atractylodes, it's called 4 major herbs. It's a common formula. Using it periodically is great for the spleen. And the spleen is what makes sure that the food's being digested and transported to your blood. If you don't use it, your muscles start to deplete, just like from blood nourishment, the depletion. If the spleen is not working properly, your ligaments, your muscles really get depleted, and you can even experience nosebleeds or rosacea. And finally, the uterus in women can collapse if you let it go too long. So this is maintenance, just helps keep these things overall. So 4 major herbs by the time you're in your 30s and 40s periodically is a really nice maintenance type of formula. Only for a few days, like once every 3 months, can help maintain the spleen. So the other, and we're running out of time. These are all 15 minutes, so I've got a couple minutes left. Diet. Make sure you're eating enough sprouts. Amla, which is Indian gooseberries, is excellent. Enough red meat and enough veggies. Put veggies on and in everything. Become a juicer and drink more green juice. Bok choy, as I said, sprouts, spinach, Swiss chard. These are all excellent additions, both for juice and in your foods. If you make chili, toss the pulp from the juice into the chili. So basically, round out your diet better and make sure you get enough sleep. Sleep is critical. Schizandra helps a lot maintain the ability to get a good night's sleep. So make sure you include that regularly. Cornus, Romania 6 is another good one. Periodically, once every 6 months for 2 or 3 days. It helps the kidneys. These are all good maintenance overall. So they will help both with your stress and with blood depletion, and keep your joints nourished so that you're able to move into the next decade, which continues to have challenges. And make sure you even have enough yang foods. Walnuts are a good one. This is Peggy Miller. I'm with Highland Winds, and I hope you have a good day. This was Maintenance 5, and stay with me. There'll be more. Okay? Take care.